So, I have been told that both players molded over this map. Golden Pit just seems to have that effect. In fact, if you took the P out of it and added 2 letters in, I think it would be more appropriate these days. One and all, welcome back to the Age of Empires 4 action. We have got Crackety on his Byzantines going up against Puppy Paw on the Order of the Dented. That's right. Germany versus Canada. Let's see what we've got in store here. I mean, this is an interesting one. Golden Pit, definitely a map that I think a lot of people at this stage are not necessarily happy with, I want to say. You know, it's crazy as well because I think the idea, the concept behind Golden Pit is really cool. All the gold situated in the center of the map, a rush towards it. A critical element of playing this map long game is having control of the center. Just maybe let down by weird spawns and I think weird rotation patterns required in scouting. And we're going to see that exact detail here. Look what happens. Both players run out in the same direction. Your only choice now is to basically run across the map and then choose to either go north or south. And the problem with this is like, it's even though you want to go for the center, it's never about the center. It's literally about getting on the outskirts because nothing but gold and relics spawn here. Not even sheep. So I think one little detail outside the spawns maybe being a bit obtuse, right? Sometimes gold and stone spawns too close to the TC. The other big tip I give to the map designers is actually like spread the sheeps a bit wider. Because right now, like genuinely, you could take this central area of the map and put a red marker over it. Because your scout should never be going there unless it's because you're rotating to the other side of the map. The Byzantines versus Order of the Dragon. Who do I favor here? Well, I'm expecting Byzantines to want late game. I don't think you want to play against the Order of the Dragon early game. The units, the stats are just too good, right? So we're probably looking at Crackety trying to survive and Puppy Paw trying to attack. But as soon as I say that, what in the duck are you doing? All right. This is already looking really good for Crackety, who's gone for Grand Winery. Byzantines are all about that later phase of the game. They want to get there. They thrive there. I'd say they're like a top 3, top 4 civ at this point in the late game, it feels like. This pretty much just gives you a free pass. The problem with Puppy Paw's choice to go for Archon, it means he's at least playing for Castle Age Plus. Because if you were playing for like a feudal timing, you'd need Men-at-Arms really to have that flexibility, and you don't want to be doing Men-at-Arms without Golden Cuirass. So interesting choice here. Puppy Paw choosing to go for a landmark that ever since they buffed the base gathering rate at the Guild of Villages by 3%, I actually feel like Archon Chapel was more worthless. I know some people are going to be like, wait, what? But it's close to the standard Archon. Yeah, but most of what you're getting is already built into the unit. What you have to think of here is that when you had a 25% gathering rate and you increased it by 10%, that's a bigger percentage than if you now have a 28% gathering rate and increase it by 10%. It just doesn't feel as impactful anymore. Like, you don't get as much value. But it looks like Puppy Paw is trying to get value out of a double TC Deer build here. And I imagine this is eventually going to layer into a crap ton of farms. Other side of this, Crackety, he's going for Fast Castle. Okay, I love that. So Crackety is going for Fast Castle, no Merc. He's going to sell the olive oil to get the gold because he wants to make this a relic race. That's sick. And that's so smart as well because even if Order of the Dented tried to rush Castle Age, they would struggle to contest the relics from an advantage. This build probably isn't good against HRE because HRE can pump prelates before they tech up. But in this matchup, both of you will rush that age up usually. And then the moment you both hit Castle Age, that's when both of you have the ability to pump monks. Now, it's still a disadvantage for the Byzantines, right? You have to pay more for your monks. And also, they take longer to produce. But it's a really cool idea coming out from Crackety here. 6 minutes and 20 seconds, and he's already on his way up to Castle Age. Oh, that's so cool. I did not expect this build. I feel like it's been several weeks since I've seen any Byzantine players utilize the olive oil for trade. Like, everyone's always focused on getting the first few units out and wanting to fight, but the reason I really like this from Crackety, and I think this is situational, by the way, is in this matchup, you don't want to be fighting OOTD. Like, you really don't want to be fighting their units. If you're Lombos, Gilded Archers can usually chase you down. If you get into a melee mosh pit, men-at-arms there, they're going to slap you hard. Even the Gilded Spearmen ruin your day. So I think this is a very creative and smart build by the Byzantines here. Crackety already up in Castle Age at 7 minutes into the game. First Monk queued up. Western Contract also queued up. On the other side of this, Puppy Paw went 2TC. He's not ready yet. Oh my god, wait. How many relics is this going to be? All right, chat. Get your numbers in. This is your flex moment in the recording. How many relics will Crackety secure in this game? I've got some strong believers right now. So here's another interesting detail for you, by the way. Although Cataphract should statistically still lose to Gilded Knights, they are a lot closer to matching Gilded Knights than anyone else's. Remember, Cataphracts cost 330 HP. 330 resources, rather, instead of 240. So they're scaled. They're basically between what a Gilded Knight is and a French Knight is. So Cataphracts can actually contest a mirrored Knight play by Puppy Paw quite well. And that would stretch Puppy Paw thin. Instead, apparently, he already expects this. He's seen this build. He's going for the Burgrave. Dude, that's crazy. What a game this already is. And everything's been scouted out, so this is a really smart play because it's going to get him quickly into those Gilded Spearmen, which he will need to defend with. Remember, it's 2TC. Now that he doesn't give a squat about the relics, it's not about playing out to the map. It's about holding until you're ready to come out while your eco inflates. First Cataphract on the way. We're going to hit the 2 times speed just to get to a point where they're actually starting to clash here. 2 relics already banked, so if you guessed 1 relic, you've already lost. This has to be a 4 relic game. It's going to be 5. It has to be 5. It's only Gilded Spearman, which means you don't have anything to defend on these relics, right? And even though you've got this Gilded Spearman, I think Cataphracts, like 1 Cata versus 1 Spear, a Cataphract should be able to take that, right? It's 27 damage per strike. Spearman has a slower attack speed. And sure, he does do 44 damage, but you've got 360 HP. Of course, those Spearmen will get upgraded. They will do more soon. For the time being, it means that you could actually just contest these 1 by 1. Instead, Crackety... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, sorry. Was it not hardened? You're right. It's 52 damage. I still think it's, like, pretty close, right? It's not a cost-efficient trade, but I'm pretty sure a Cataphract still beats you in a one-on-one. Like, even if this... Yeah, look, even if this heal wasn't here. Because remember, this guy wasn't full health when he started. So Katas will beat Hardened Spearman one-on-one. Love the Prelate just healing like this as well. Crossbow follow-up. This is a really good micro from Crackety, just kind of min-maxing the health pool. You know, something that's kind of interesting to think about in fights. Like, we talk about resources in games, right? We talk about the idea of food, wood, gold, and stone. We've even talked about the idea of population as the 5th resource. In fights, health is a resource as well. That's what Crackety's doing really well here. He's min-maxing health as a resource in these engagements. And it's why he's well-positioned to be on his way to 5 relics now. Dude, that's so cool. It's going to be a contest over the right side one, but now with longbows arriving, crossbows as well, Puppy Paw, he can't send out more to try and contest this. Meanwhile, Crackety now with a strong force to try and go in. Dude, we could have a very quick game here. Holy crap. The question now is whether Crackety tries to all in or if he goes Imperial. Like, I think if you want to go Imperial, you probably need a second TC. Just doing it blind is a bit weird. The other thing as well is when you get all these relics, you get so much extra olive oil to work with. Although you could sell it to kind of, you know, bolster your way towards an imp timing, I just don't think you get that much out of rushing it here versus trying to shut down what is becoming an inflating economy for the Order of the Dragon. And yeah, he's still only Burgrave. He's literally, I think he just added an archer range a second ago. Yeah, first archer's being queued up, second archer range coming in. But this is Gilded Archers against Lombos. Usually that would be kind of rough for the Gilded Archers, but the thing you have to remember is we're up in Castle Age, so OOTD do have access to the scale lever. Good old scale armors can give the +3. Still, raids on the backside. Cataphracts are going to move in. Garrison on the TCs. Sprint placement's been pretty annoying. Unfortunately for Puppy Paw here, no relics, so no buffed up damage on them. Kados are going to get cleared up. Looks like this backline troops are going to be pushed away. And I imagine Crackety is just willing to throw away these troops or get them out. Like, they can't stay around here much longer anyway. Behind this, though, it is now going to be a 5-relic game. He's picked it up. It's on the way home. And behind this, what is the next move from Crackety? We haven't seen him go for extra greed. Sir. Kind sir. Wait, is he going Kyro Siphon? Alright, Puppy Paw wins this, GG. I don't know, man. I think Kyro Siphons start to see some interesting usage. I just don't think you want to be building them against this Civ. Feels like it's very difficult to make it work against the E-Repair Civs. Just considering how fragile the Kyro Siphons are compared to standard Rams and the fact that they're still very expensive. Remember, for all other factions, the Rams became 20% cheaper. Not the case with the Byzantines. Their Rams used to cost 350 resources, now they cost 300. They basically got a 15% haircut. Not even that. It's kind of crazy, actually. I don't know, man. I hope they change this cost. I think 100 gold is just stupidly high for the early game and the late game. It only really feels like Kyro Siphons work in the mid game, from what I've been seeing, because the gold investment is a bit more affordable when you're like 30 to 40 eco in. But the issue in the late game is you run out of gold, right? So then how do you really afford Kyro Siphon spam compared to Ram spam that's only going to be 200 wood each? Just doesn't seem fair. I can't believe I'm saying that we need to buff the Byzantines, but yeah, I guess we do. At least that element. Other elements still feel like they're a little bit too powerful, but that particular one is always grinding my gear. I don't like that idea of changing the cost of oil as well. Maybe if it was a flexi choice, so like you had 2 RAM options. Because the only issue I have with that idea of changing it to be oil-based is I think it handcuffs you to certain builds. So it actually hurts you even more at like early phase of the game. Because now you can't have mercs, right? So like I like the idea of just clicking here and having 2 RAM options. That's a nice idea. But I don't think that it should be either olive oil or gold. Flash coming in. Rams moving on through. Oh my dear god, the melee vulnerability here. The burn through though. Decent damage in return on the men-at-arms, but man, you're seeing the power of Order of the Dragon now against Rams. Remember, they take 20% more damage on Rams, and Order of the Dragon melee units have higher base damage. Oh my god. I mean, that's like what? That's a 900 resource exchange for maybe he killed 2 men-at-arms because of it? Good trade out as a follow-up from Crackety, though. Goes after the Gilded Crossbowmen first to the Lombos. Love this detail. There is no scale armor here, though, which means also the Gilded Archers get swept. Oh my god, what a misplay by Puppy Paw. Not prioritizing this upgrade, not even getting the veterancy on these Archers. Wow. Okay, hear me out. If Crackety had spent 900 resources on Varangian instead of Kyro Siphons, this game is already over. Right? Like, I know the Kyro Siphons distracted the men-at-arms a bit, but I legit just don't feel like they've done enough for it to be worthwhile. Imagine if he just had extra men-at-arms, extra Varangian coming in. Well, at least this Kyro Siphon's going to live a little longer. Moving on to the Burgrave. So one other annoying thing about building Kyro Siphons against rune replacements, that's a 41 damage defense, and you have 38 ranged armor for some stupid reason. Which means you're going to take extra damage. Where this usually gets stupid, by the way, is typically when you try to make this play, and HRE or Order of the Dragon player has at least 1 relic. If he has a relic, these low HP Rams actually die quite quickly. Second Kyro Siphon in, though. Cracker's like, yes, but that's if he has a relic, and he doesn't. But you know what is actually more effective against these Rams than standard Rams? Siege damage. Mangonel's actually adding quite a lot in. Remember, E-Repairs has not been pumped yet. So, Burgrave, although low on HP, should not be going down. Actually, Crackety's going to back up. Does he know about the situation that Puppy Paw's in here? Yeah, he was out of gold. He was legit out of gold. The last men at arms queued is all he could afford, but Crackety can't overextend. He's playing longbow comp. He's basically playing English, right? So think about English players and how they can never wrap around the back of the base or they lose the army. It's the same thing here. So he backs away. And Infernus, behind this, he's doing fine for himself, right? He's 5 relics, he's 3 TC, and he's in the middle of a growth transition, so he's only going to get stronger for it. I think the important thing in my eyes now for Crackety is play for the center, establish a keep here, and make sure that even though Puppy Paw has got 4k gold to work with, he'll never get a piece beyond that. Remember, this map is always defined by who's able to stake a claim on the center. And considering both of these civs and the comps they're building, both of them are going to need a hell of a lot of gold as this game goes on. Gonna hit the speed up. Now we've got some downtime in between. Puppy Paw now the Russian gold. The question mark is whether he tries to Russian age up here. Like 70, 80 military should be enough to defend, especially now that he's got the veterancy and as long as he's got the scale armor for those archers. Funnily enough, he actually doesn't. It's on the way now. I think this is the stage where like Puppy Paw's biggest strength is probably to get to Imperial. But I think the paranoia that's setting in his brain is if this does go Imperial Age, we're probably going to see Maslin Matane from Crackety. And Puppy Paw's army is over 60% ranged. Doesn't bode well against Maslin Matane. Another scary detail, actually, is that Crackety's been scaling into Langsnecht. I really like this choice. I think Langsnecht works very well against Order the Dragon, even when they're scaling a lot of ranged units like this, because of the Varangian factor. You know, you kind of just have to choose your poison on how you die. And it's very difficult because it means when you do these engagements, because there's no Langsnecht coming from Puppy Paw, Puppy Paw has to micro very accurately, targeting down the Langsnecht, whereas Crackety just gets to A-click the fights. Just makes it so much simpler for him to do more than one thing. Nice timing on the move out from Puppy Paw. Question is whether he's going to try to Garen the Stone now. Like, you need to make a keepstake very soon. The problem with waiting and just relying on winning a fight to control that area is like you never have a fallback plan if you misplay a fight. It's why keeps have been a very clear, emphasized point of map control here. This is a big part of why I think Mongol players have been struggling en masse to win this map. Right, that play for the center, you have no keep drop to make in Castle Age. You'd have to wait into Imperial to get cannon emplacements even. It's just not feasible. Feels like every time I've watched a Mongol player win on this map, it's either been in Feudal Age or it's been because of a complete outplay. Well, okay, we are getting that keep I was asking for, but it's the Elsbat Palace. Horseman showing up now, Crackety with the transition, and it seems to be well timed here. Mass range units, Mangonel around the backside. Men-Arms try to protect, but unable to do so. And the keep will not go up. Puppy Paw, the worst possible time to make this play. It's going to be a cancel on a back away. Horseman waiting in the winds here to hit up those Gilded Archers. Lombos tickling in the retreat. And Puppy Paw caught at the worst possible time here, making what would have been a pivotal play. Sick reads now. Crackety with the follow-up. Kara Cypher's moving in. Looking to dent the outpost. Looking to starve off the economy a little here. And Crackety behind this. Now with so much gold and win in reserve, it seems like Imperial Age is inevitable for the German. Oh man, the dives continue the farms now. The idle time being achieved here. Puppy Paw, he can't even afford to tech up himself anymore. He has to reinvest in an army after the losses. Lombos are going to be thrown away, but behind this, Crackety now should be macroing up that imp and upgrading into a better army afterwards. Dude, that horseman transition was actually slick. Puppy Paw did not expect that whatsoever. It's just a smart read here. I think Crackety also, the follow-up play now is with the overburdening of gold, he can just mass sell into the food he needs to get there. It's just a matter of noticing, right? Like right now he's distracted by this fight. He started stepping back with the Lombos. Funnily enough, actually, by the time he does realize how much extra gold is flowing, he should naturally have Imperial. And that's quite nice, because what that means is once Crackety gets there, he can toggle over to Dialecticus and immediately expend all that gold on these expensive 700 gold upgrades. There we go, Crackety. Age up on the way. It's going to be the Palatine School at the backside. Really needs a keep drop, man. It's on the way. Okay, there we go. Thank God. I was wondering where all the stone went. The timing again, though! Come on! You both can't keep doing this. I cannot believe this. And it's so greedy as well. I mean, just imagine this if Crackney dropped the keep back here, but paranoia set in over this Elsbach, right? I think he was worried about what that would be, how hard that would be to take down. So he wanted to try and guarantee it would never be on the gold. And instead, now he's just throwing away 900 stone. No cancel coming in. And apparently, he's just going to do this on purpose now. Okay, so hear me out. This looks really bad, right? Like, Crackney just burnt 900 stone. The reason it's okay, though, is every moment Puppy Paw torches this building, he's not diving into your base right now. And Crackney needed that because of the tech up. Still, not out of the woodworks yet. Tech up is complete, but he needs all those upgrades ASAP. And here we go. They're on the way. Toggles over to Dialecticus. Ferocious Speed, as well as the Varangian upgrade, is coming in. And this should be enough to buffer away the army, as long as he's got enough Raxes to get them out. Puppy Paw. The crazy part is just look at the size of his military and look at his economy. He's about to tech up as well, but he's going to do so from a position of power. An opportunity to strike emerges. Puppy Paw makes his way into the Byzantine play, into the Byzantine base rather, for the first time in this game. Puppy Paw, will he be able to find anything valuable enough is the question mark now. Crackney peeling back the troops. Mass Varangian is stockpiling up here. Remember, with the Ferocious, they get that huge buffer to attack speed, movement speed. We're going to break him, Puppy Paw. Hold the choke points for the time being. Big range advantage here, but Lombos are tickling that back line. The Gilded Crossbowmen having to back away. Crackney needs more Lombos. He also needs the upgrade, but he doesn't have the gold right now. He's draining it dry. Only 500 left over. He needs to break this army and get out and establish a foothold, but Puppy Paw comes in with the Elsbach Palace drop to deny all gold. This game just got hard, folks. Lombo count down to just 10. Varangian not really scaling upwards, but the forward vanguard are falling. Puppy Paw gradually losing his hold, his foothold in the base of the Byzantines. Still, I think what matters more, folks, is what comes next. 26 minutes into this game, Crackney has found his way up in Imperial Age. He has got all this olive oil, but he does not have long-term access to gold. It's going to be an uphill battle. Where can you really play here, right? You've got a trickle of gold coming in over here. He could pull the relics out of the Grand Winery and into a monastery if he wanted gold instead of olive oil. But even then, you know, for the type of pump required here, it's difficult. I think instead, Crackney's probably better suited just leaning more into Lombos. Just go mass Lombos and elite them up. It's unfortunate, though, because he went Palatine School. Like, if he went for the Foreign Engineering Company, it would have been a lot better here because you're able to upgrade them by getting the volley, right? That's missing here. So volley would have, funnily enough, kind of offset the power of the scale armor for these Gilded Archers. So from this point on, at least for the foreseeable future, because I don't see how you get anywhere near this Elsbach, Puppy Paw has a phenomenal advantage. What is Crackney's best play outside of just longbows? Limit just kind of doesn't work well here because the Gilded Archer spam. Sure, you got Shield Wall, but it just doesn't feel good. If Puppy Paw doesn't attack him, Crackney, off of the passive gold, can gradually get into Varangian spam. In fact, he's already up to 44 again. Another interesting detail is how olive oil gives you another breath of life. You're the only civ that can sell or buy this resource, right? So Puppy Paw can't rig the market against you. It does give you a little bit of runway, but you need to hit hard. And the problem with that is, like, you know, you might have 50, 60, 70 of these Varangian, but this is an Elsbach Palace with the influence reducing the damage it takes by 33%. So diving to try and torch that down is still very expensive. So instead, I think we're going to have a slow siege here. Puppy Paw's reaction to this should be to drop a TC in the center here. He just needs to make sure he's got the E-repairs available. If he does that, he's able to just wood repair in between, and this Elsbach should never be going down to Treb Siege. Breakthrough. Wait, what? Oh, no. Crackney didn't know. Well, luckily there wasn't much eco exposed here. The army will be able to react in time. and Elsbach gives repairs, no, you need a TC. You're thinking of the Pulsar Schwabia. The Pulsar Schwabia is a TC. Here you go. The big things you get from the Elsbach, like the biggest thing is genuinely the damage reduction by 33%, and also the fact that it has an extra 50% health rather. Funnily enough, you can also get Core Architects to increase the health further. Elsbach Palaces become an absurdly tanky beast in the hyper late game. Oh, Berserk activated. This actually isn't a bad way of using them. Usually I'm not the big fan of just toggling Berserk on everything, but it's just keeping your opponent retreating. Admittedly, if he chased the Lombos, I think this would have been a lot better because the Gilded Crossbowmen don't move quick enough, but still, at the tail end of it, like, even if you're trading 1-for-1 with the Varangian, that's a really good trade, remember. These Varangian, they only cost 140 resources. Meanwhile, oh, sorry, 130. On the other side of it, even just these Gilded Archers cost 160. Admittedly, it does cost that gold we talked about, and it is 40 gold per pump. But that's not what's important anymore. It's the siege investment for gold now, Manus. He's opened the way. He's got an opportunity. Crackety. Now with the switch up in the Kara Siphon Mass, let's speed this up so he gets them built. It doesn't look like Poppypool's making a move behind this. In fact, he still hasn't got into elite army tactics yet. No incendiary arrows either. Not to mention the fact that despite he's got all this gold access, look at the villager count. He's been dented so hard, he simply doesn't actually have the ability to get gold quick enough to get all of his veterancies, not to mention to get the upgrades from the university. Oh man, this is tough. It worries me as well, because I actually think you need Gilded Archers more than you just need Gilded Crossbows. Like right now, you're up against Mass Lombo and Varangian. Funnily enough, you kind of need a thin line of melee and mass range split between crossbows and archers. And he just doesn't have that. On top of that, on the other side of this, although there's no incendiary arrows coming through, we're now actually seeing the elite status upgrade coming in. So these Lombos just got juiced up. On top of that, the Varangian already got the elite army tactics. Kara Siphon's now moving in. Cannon emplacements, at least going to blast away at them. Berserk does get activated. A backstab come around the side. Kara Siphons with the burn through. The fire armor. Oh my god, he didn't rush it! No. No way. He's not going to survive this. There's no TC. There's no E-repairs. And a lack of mass melee to easily get on top of those rams. Half HP. Looks like maybe the villager pull will save him, but it's going to be costly. Look at the Lombos just starting to target him down. Rams. Burn damage now trickling over onto those men-at-arms. It looks like he will be able to hold on to the central position here with the palace. But boy, was it expensive. I mean, the eco count difference is undeniable in this game. 130 to 74. And now we see Crackety's true late game plan emerge. If only he had a relic. That's why you rushed all 5, buddy. Yeah, these rams, the moment the men-at-arms touch them, it looks gruesome. I love that second wave there. Pretty well played by Poppypaw. The eco is still a problem, though. Like, all these idle times, just stopping him actually getting all of his upgrades together is kind of worrying me. He still does not have incendiary arrows. Other side of this, I wouldn't be surprised if Crackety just tries to start stockpiling the points for it, right? Like, he's got almost 2,000 olive oil in reserve. I actually think you sell a bunch of olive oil here, and he's doing exactly that to get the gold. From there, I think if you just prioritize incendiary arrows, you can just annihilate this backline. Even the men-at-arms won't last long. Because remember, this was not a minework build. Poppypaw does not have the extra damage reduction at low HP. What you see is what you get with these guys. Meanwhile, Varangian. Oh, Poppypaw, he hasn't had a reason to wall up for a lot of this game now, right? Like, those early raids got shut down. He didn't have the resources to stretch for that. And in the last several minutes, he hasn't had a reason to go back and fix that. These Varangian are about to punish him for that very detail. They hit for 22 damage. They activate that Berserk. It's an absolute wipe. And you know he's waiting for exactly that opportunity. He'll be targeting onto the farms. Farms that are guarded by a few sprinkled emplacements, but with the elite army tactics, with the speed in these Varangian, they will not be denied. Poppypaw, every time you think he's about to reach 100 eco, he gets stripped of it. And that's about to happen again. Frangin. Berserk activated. Here we go. 29 damage per strike. I'm moving to the farms. Hard time achieved here. Puppy will get away with most of the villagers. Luckily for him, a lot of his eco is condensed towards the forward here on the wood line and on the gold. So it looks like it's going to save him any big bruises. Actually, he goes back to work. Wait, what? No. Puppy Paw jumps the gun on return to work here. Eco losses stacking again. Back down to 75 eco behind this Crackly, always maintaining 120 plus. Although he's going to lose a lot of Varangian, we're now seeing a switch up coming through. Streltsy on the horizon for the Byzantines. Biology as well. Okay, so this is interesting, right? Streltsy to try and break the men-at-arms formation and then Horsemen to run down the crossbows. Although the Order of the Dragon can kind of hold on against this, long-term it's kind of risky because now you've got this awkward issue where you don't have that extra damage mitigation to just tank up against the Streltsy. The Horsemen have the mobility to body block your retreats to make sure the Streltsy get in range. And also, if you try to trade men-at-arms into the Streltsy to get rid of them, and you leave the Gilded Crossbowmen unguarded, what you're talking about is a matchup now where the Byzantines are spending food and wood, but you're spending gold. And although you may have all this gold in the center, that's a finite resource that you don't have a very big economy to take advantage of. I do like that he's finally adding that TC, though. I think that last fight was an eye-opener for Puppy Paw. It was way too close to him losing the Elves back. So he's not going to leave himself vulnerable to that same move again. Nor the rotation either. Looks like he does sniff this one out. Meanwhile, stone walls are now going up. Horsemen going to try to raid through. So they are going to cut off. They will find their way around it eventually, but not many to raid with. Meanwhile, on the other side of this, Berserk does get activated, so a few men-at-arms chased away. I've gone to the 2 times speed here, just so that we get through this phase a little bit quicker, because this is just small probes. We aren't at the big in point yet. Oh, Varangian diving weirdly, though. Crackety. Okay. Honestly, the fact that he's able to keep affording this like this is because of the olive. The olive oil, if it wasn't for that, he would have ran out of steam a long time ago. The Varangian are not cheap in this mass, folks. 40 gold each. Good lord. Still, a few Varangian do find their way in. And guess what? Puppy Paw is once again down on the economy. Oh, this is so annoying. The thing I don't like about Puppy Paw's approach to this stage in the game is that if he just stonewalled everywhere, he wouldn't have to split himself like this. He'd be diving into the enemy base. But the reason why Crackety is still in this is because Puppy Paw has to keep running back with an army that moves at 1.12 movement speed to react to these plays. It's so inefficient. Well, you're not getting gold for that one. Yeah, Crackety, so he's highlighting something good that he's doing here. Basically, he's using Expilatores to try and get raids with the Horsemen. In fairness, unless I missed one, I haven't seen a big raid that felt like it slapped. It's very difficult to use Expilatores against the Order of the Dragon as well because they have extra health on their villagers, especially with textiles. Horsemen, though, are going to flood in. Go for the villagers! Go for the villagers! He wants the siege, though. He's going to move past it now. Looks like he's going to reset and move away. He's just going to go deeper, isn't he? Oh. Hi, guys. Nice wall you almost built. Bye. All right, here we go. 1. Oh, my God. It just takes so long to kill a villager. 2. 3. I don't know. We're just counting with Crackety now. Remember, Expilatores doesn't just give you payday when you get kills on villagers. It actually gives you a +2 damage against workers. So like the Horsemen that would usually be quite ineffective against very tanky villagers are a little bit better at it. And you know what that was right there, guys? That was payday for trebuchets. We've got 4 trebs now coming out. Siege begins, and this is going to force a commitment into defenses. And oh, dude, I can already tell why Puppy Paw is going to be tilted about this game. You're going to catapult crawl him, aren't you? These outposts, they have the Mangonels in them. This is so annoying to dive. Oh, man. These static defense... You know, actually, I'm fine with this. You want to know why? How many of us have experienced Order of the Dragon or HRE players ruining our day? with static emplacements. This is just kind of karma, isn't it? This is so annoying because the thing you have to remember is like most civs would struggle to keep scaling outposts, but for the Byzantines, all they need is wood. When they build structures, they get a nice little tax rebate in the form of stone. It means they can just keep spamming mango towers. The fact that mango towers have still not been nerfed is absolutely mind-boggling to me. They are insane. It's actually crazy that Puppy Paw essentially has the same number of units in the field as Crackety, because you can see he has double the pop. But yet, I don't feel like Puppy Paw's winning anything here. The Trebs are slowly killing off the Elsbach Palace, even with E repairs. On top of that, the backstabs come in. The Bin Arms! Oh my god, he gets baited! That's going to be a wipe. Puppy Paw, he doesn't have the eco to replace this. Look at the food numbers! 1,500 food versus 4,000. Puppy Paw is about to request a line of credit from Crackety here. 12,000 food in reserve. This man can afford to send plenty of horses to the glue factory. I mean, this is looking pretty grim right now for Puppy Paw. I can't believe the way this is, like, this is absurd. How the hell can you have no goal control in the center, play late game, and still somehow be winning against a Civ that has all the gold? How do you even stop these expos? This is literally, like, this is your answer right now. This is how you stop it. And then, when this is gone, when the Elsbach is dead, you just spam Horsemen. And then if you still feel like you can't fight the Gilded Crossbowmen, just kill the villagers. Oh my god. Crackety, you're a dirty, dirty boy. How to kill the Elsbach? Slowly. You need 6 Trebs, right? To reliably get through it, I think. I think I know what we call this game. Like, on YouTube, it's probably going to be something like static defenses tilt all players. Because on one side, Puppy Paw's got to be tilted by these outposts. On the other, Crackety is most definitely tilted by the Elsbach. It's kind of balanced in that way, isn't it? Strokes now moving in. You know, it's interesting because on the flip side, if Crackety had gone for the foreign engineering company, he could have had VP Pals, right? But the issue with that is the only reason Crackety was able to keep this comp going is because Palatine School was giving him all the freebies for the Varangian. And I think that's probably like another thing that I could see Puppy Paw being tilted about in this game. Like the Varangian spam, the only reason why Crackety was able to afford it was the combination of trading olive oil and getting all those units for free. Oh my goodness. And what a game this is now turning into. Puppy Paw still under AD eco. Crackety now switching into Mass Limitane. So this is to allow him to get into Siege, right? The whole logic here is you no longer have the ability to keep selling. Like, look at the rates on the market. Jeez, he just sold, what was it, 800 olive oil for 100 gold. It's bad. It's really bad. He's literally, the only thing that he can make a profit off of is if he sells stone. So Crackety's only choice is to switch Limitane. And he needs to full halt Varangian spam just so that he can get enough gold together to even upgrade Limitane. Okay, actually, I don't know, dude. Like, what's the bigger memeful highlight of this game? Is it the fact that he doesn't... like, he has to rely on static defenses, both of them are tilted by static defenses? Or is it the fact that 43 minutes into the game, we see Dark Age Limitane? Oh, that's brilliant. And yeah, I 100% think Crackety should be switching his relics to a monastery. He should have done this a while ago, actually. Olive oil has really never been a problem for him. His problem has always been gold. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't do it earlier, but it's one of those easy things to overlook. Like, just look at how saturated the screen is. It's very easy to lose track of those details. Extra keep now added in. Irapez at least saving the day for the time being. These horsemen are always probing, man. Funnily enough, Poppypaw may be getting the gold, but he's also giving gold to Crackney every time he does. Oh, that's brilliant. Poppypaw. What? He's switching. Wait. Okay, so he's switching into hand cannoneers, but did that get scouted? Because Crackney is building longbows. Is that because the Golden Horn Tower? Yeah, that's Golden Horn Tower. The problem now, though, is if Crackney sees any of these hand cannoneers, you just pivot. You just go immediately into longbows and you win. Because hand cannoneers won't be able to reach you. I'm sorry, I've got to highlight that. Biz, no Imperial food upgrade. Huge mistake. That's true. Crackney is a selfish piece of crap. Right now, he can only afford to feed Europe. Who's going to feed the world? Come on, bro. 13k food? Why? Now, of course, it would immediately increase the olive oil, but I just don't think olive oil is his problem. I actually think spending 500 gold on getting the tier 3 hurts more. Is this game ever going to end? Do you guys, like... Alright. Predictions, folks. How, like, put a timer on it. When do you think this game is going to finish? I'm hitting the 2x speed. Like, I don't see it ending in the next 5 minutes at least. This is just complete limbo mode. Neither of them has enough siege to break everything here. I mean, he's got Trebs trying to hit an outpost. That's not always accurate. On top of that, outpost can be repaired. It's going to take forever. Oh, man. L's back. It's just never getting low enough, man. Like, the Greek fire is just ineffective against the fire armor as well, right? Just doesn't feel great. Horsemen are at least going to stab at the siege. Nicely played there. Crackney willing to make that exchange. Does move into the Guild Crossbowman line. Streltsy are coming in the backstab here to push him back. But Poppypaw, it's only going to be a soft reset. There's just not enough push power behind this from Crackney. Maybe the Mangoes now, though. Comes in from behind. Shots through. Onto the back line. Lagstick are going to arrive, though, and they move into the Streltsy. Pushback commences here. Crackney, he can't afford to forfeit the position here. The Mangonels would be pinched in the retreat. So he stands his ground. Mango's able to push in here. Repair crew able to garrison to keep the Elves back alive. E-Repairs coming off cooldown in 15 seconds. Is this the break point? Has he finally done enough? We're about to find out. Mango's only 2 left over. The cannons just brutalizing him right now. I just don't think he's going to break it here, folks. No siege left. No troops left to camp here permanently. Poppypaw definitely set back, but in no means put down. Second wave coming in, but I think there's enough crossbows to push this back once more. This game just won't end, and the problem is as long as the L's back is up, you can't target other buildings. Just look at the resistance on this. The influence reducing the torch damage by 33%. On top of that, the fire armor giving a +5. You're just tickling, right? Like, to put it in math terms there, it means that you're only doing 10 damage per torch. In Imperial Age, you're meant to do 20 damage. It's insane. Actually, no, it's even higher, right? Damage reduction gets calculated first. So 20 loses 33%. So that's you now down by 6.5 damage. And then you're down by an extra 5. So you are doing 8.5 damage per torch instead of 20. That's an insane amount of reduction. Oh, man. Crackney still with 11,000 food. The rates are recovering, by the way. I'm a little bit worried because the thing you have to be conscious of here is that in this game, as it goes later and later, Poppypaw is going to run out of gold. It's going to take a bloody long time, but he will run out of gold. But every time these rates reset, the fact that Crackney is still competing with a lack of gold access worries me a lot for Poppypaw. Because it means there's going to be these surge points available to Crackney, right? Like, he's got these Limitane, he hasn't been able to upgrade them further. That's going to change soon. And then behind this, have we still got them? There we go. Switch over on the way. So we've now got 4 relics in the monasteries. A lot more gold. And also keep in mind, that's a lot more stone and wood as well. So a lot of benefits there, actually, for Crackety. Especially considering that this map, for him, is going to run out of wood eventually, right? Like, that's the thing that's keeping him alive, is the horseman spam and the siege. But what? Oh my god, dude. Is he trying to... He's trying to break the stone walls. He's trying to get horsemen into the economy. Gold on the front side. Did someone say Expelliarmus? No, it's Expelliarmus. Close enough. Push in here. Pushes him off the gold. This game. He's actually snaking in a Siege Workshop area here. If he gets some rams out and breaks this wall, it's going to be a flood of horsemen into the farms. And remember, folks, every one of those horsemen that kills a villager, that's 20 gold in the pocket of Crackety. Crackety, who, by the way, now has 1,200 gold in reserve. That's the most gold he's had for the last, what, like 20 minutes in this game? Trebs trying to break the wall here. Funnily enough, this now opens the way into the center. Like, this is insane. Because of what Crackety is doing, Puppy Paw sent the army back again. And now he raids in and gets gold off the easier to access workers. Oh my god, dude. These walls are taking so long, though. It's the extra 40% health you get plus the fire armor, right? It means the Greek fire doesn't really do anything. The Trebs kind of tickle. Bombards are too expensive if anyone's wondering why I didn't go for Bombards instead. And yes, we are now finally up to age 3 Limitane. They're getting there, slowly but surely. And finally, precision crossbreeding comes in. Crackety, with over 1,000 gold in reserve, has found his moolah. Oh, dude, this game. This game is so dumb. Like, he's literally just ignoring the L's back, folks. And oh my god, the villages! Gold, 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 gold! And immediately he queues up 7 trebuchets. This has to be it, right? Make or break. This is the moment. If 7 trebuchets cannot break this Elsbat Palace, nothing can. I love that he's still got horsemen out here in case Puppy Paw decides he wants wood. So what was that, like 20 horsemen going down? So it's like 2,400 resources for maybe 200 gold. That's a pretty good deal. That's the guys. That might have looked like a feed, but remember that's a better rate than he gets from the marketplace. Oh man. Wait. Why? What? Why? What? Is wait. Crackety, is this so that you can select all and then hold the sell button? Or is it, oh, is it just about this? That doesn't work, right? I'm imagining that. It's just for the stone, right? Because this is the most efficient building you can make for that size. Ah, yeah, okay. Thank you for the clarity. Yeah, that makes sense. Because like the only other one that's like close is blacksmiths, but blacksmiths cost more wood. That's very crafty, man. And then you sell the stone. You don't even use it for more outposts. Oh, that's bloody brilliant. All right, guys. This is now 4 trebs. We need more. This is so dumb. All right. So here's what I'm gonna say. We've made a lot of Stormgate comments in these games today. This is because there's been so many perfect parallels we've had to compare in the last 2 days. Some people said they didn't like 5-minute finishes. Would you rather have this? Would you rather have a freaking Elsbat that just doesn't die? Oh my god. Dude, there should be a gentleman's agreement here. Should be like, yo, Puppy Paw, if you extract all the gold from the map and still don't win, you have to GG. Oh my god. I'm speeding this up. Dude, I'm going 4 times speed now. We're not in a clash right now. Oh, yeah, more gold. Thank you. There we go. He lost 5 horsemen. He got 20 gold. Jackpot. Trebuchet count is now up to 7. This is make or break. This is what we've been waiting for. Streltsy have to defend this, though. It's going to be a charge in. Poppy Paw sends in the Spearman. Looking to flood through. The Trebuchet count is insanely high. Remember, these take up a lot of population. That right now is 21 pop into Siege that can't fight. However, the Horseman can. Oh, no. And so can the Mangonel Towers. No. I actually really feel bad for Poppy Paw right now. It's just like, I shouldn't because he built the L's back. But at the same time, how do you have access to every central gold vein? Your opponent has no gold for 30 minutes plus, and you still can't win. This is it. He's broken him. There's no way back. Poppy Paw, the army got wiped with the dive. The Elsbach is going down. And as soon as it falls, Poppy Paw is done. He repairs by some time, but behind this, it's still 7 trebuchets blunting this. Villagers on the front side are dead. 56 eco remains for Poppy Paw. It took too damn long. But Crackety breaks it. And Marine Lord's like, I don't know how to fix OOTD's late game. No, I don't think the issue is Order of the Dragon's late game. The issue here is Byzantine's trade game. Even on a map without trade. Oh my god. I'm speeding it up. This is now just Poppy Paw huffing and puffing in the seat. Absolutely absurd. What an insane game. You know, I think looking back at this game, maybe Poppy Paw needed some siege. It's kind of crazy you have all this gold and all this wood and you hold these choke points around the goal, but you don't have any like bombard to quickly blitz through the outpost, right? Maybe that would have been the way to start breaking this down, because I think these Mangonel Towers with the sticking point, every time he tried to dive those static defenses, things fell flat for him. Also some forward production. He started to do it towards the end here, but more early on may have helped him a lot here. Definitely a tough game when you're up against 5 relics and no sort of pregnant skull potential. But what an insane game out of Crackety. I mean, the cool plays, the fact that he was able to keep himself alive by just basically using the 4th trade option that only the Byzantines get. And using all of them, by the way. Not just the food, not the wood, not the olive oil, but as he highlighted, the stone as well, from building these marketplaces to get stone for free. Funnily enough, while he still has 1,200 stone literally standing right next to him, of all things. What a crazy game. Trebs. Take a while to break these walls, but they are going to get an opening. Poppy Paw making his stand here, but remember, he's just lost gold. This army, the moment it goes down, there will be no reboom. There will be no recovery. He has 100 gold income a minute. And for the first time in an hour-long game, Crackety has touched the central gold. It's like a teenager seeing his first picture of boobs in his life. He's like, oh, is it real? Can I touch it? Crackety, you can have all your time you want with it. 5,000 gold and it's all yours. Get the Varangian spam and get the hand cannoneers. Hell, you know what? Start actually buying resources back with the gold. Do whatever you want. You've earned it after holding on for this long in this game. People put their predictions in for an hour and 5 minutes. You know what? I think that's going to be on par here. Push comes in. Poppy Paw up to 100 military again, but he just doesn't have the ability to replace what's about to be lost in this meat grinder. Line holds for the moment. We're going to be on the 2-time speeder here because I just don't see a bite back anymore. Poppy Paw is going to dive on in to try and snipe out some of the siege, but the second line of horsemen is going to resurge here. Behind this is Mass Varangian now on the way with the Palatine School as well. Remember, that's going to give him extra surge in this build. And now with more outposts coming in, more ground being gained, Puppypaw has just got nothing left in the chamber. If he cannot break this with 140 military, he never will. Oh my god. I can't. What an insane game. Well, Crackety, firm handshakes all around, mate. You do play a lot of the Byzantines. I don't know if your goal in playing them all the time is to get them nerfed. Maybe it's kind of like a why Matisse only plays Zhuji type thing, but some questions are going to be asked about how they stay in games like this. I mean, maybe it is that Order of the Dragon just needs to be buffed. I do think that, like, this is one of those awkward games where I think one big issue for Order of the Dented is if they don't go for Regnants and they don't get into Inspired Warriors tech, they just don't have enough push power per unit. They're not optimal enough. I think Crackety even mentioned that, actually, in the chat. I think that's a really big takeaway from this game. Like, I'm trying to think of a single game I've seen in the last month where Burgrave was built by Order of the Dragon and they won. And you know what, guys? I can't think of a single game. It feels like it's a cursed landmark. Understandably, he had no choice here, right? Crackety, I can't believe a game that began with him fast castling at 6.5 minutes and getting 5 relics led into him having no gold for 5/6 of this game. But that's genuinely where we're at. Crazy game. Let me know what you guys thought. Did you expect this outcome? Did you feel like Order of the Den just couldn't play late game? Or was there something here that Puppypaw should have done different, could have done different to get a different outcome? Or was this just Crackety being a complete cheeky, unbeatable git here to get the dub? Whatever it is, be sure to smash the subscribe. Be sure to be following these channels if you want to see more absurd games like this, because I'm sure this is not the last we have seen of these two on Golden Pit. But I think it might be the last we see of the Dented here from Puppypaw for a while. Crazy game, crazy hold on to get to this stage, but Crackety will get the dub. Puppypaw now shrinking down as the military surges for Crackety. The writing is clearly on the wall. Order of the Dented too weak, Byzantines too strong. Whatever it is, it leads to one of the dumbest wins I've seen on Golden Pit to this day. I wonder if we'll see more Elsbach, though. This kind of, like, this almost made Elsbach look worth it. I do wonder. Weirdly enough, the games where I've seen Order of the Dragon look good, I think are actually more like eco-boomy games, like Louis going 150, Beastie going 150. But then you have to ask, like, how much of that is the player versus the strategy? These big militaries just seem to struggle to win, though. I feel like a lot of the players that maybe have found success at Order of the Dragon seem to rely more heavily on, like, Siege. Things that only cost 1 pop. It's kind of a weird feeling. I don't know, maybe this is just designed to be the all-in feudal civ. Whatever it is, it's definitely, I think, a civ that still hasn't been fully formulated yet. The Byzantines, on the other hand, deserve a nerf. Bye.